Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the very first episode of the Waffle Club podcast. And I'm really excited for today. It's kind of crazy. I haven't streamed in a while. The last time I streamed was November 9th, which is like a couple weeks ago, I think. I don't know how long that was, but PC was broken, so that's why I couldn't stream. But then idea came to me. I love talking, especially on stream. I'm not really a talkative person outside of that. I'm pretty introverted. If you knew me IRL, I'm pretty introverted. Like I don't really talk much to other people, but on stream, I don't know, for some reason I just yap a lot, like they say. So I decided, you know what? Why not make it a podcast? Because I'm already doing half of the stuff, just not marketing it as a podcast. Because I was watching some of the streams back from earlier, and I've like there was a, I think on Tuesday's Dreamtober episode, the day two, um I think I spent like more than half of that entire stream, like three quarters of that stream, just talking, just nothing, no games, just talking. I have no idea what I was talking about, but I was rambling and ranting for like a long time. And you know, um, so that kind of inspired me to just kind of just go for it, start a podcast. So then I can do something on Twitch, I can live stream something, upload something on YouTube that's not gaming. I don't want to have just gaming all the time, right? Just want to switch it up a little bit. And I don't want to use a PC all the time. I want to be in my room because I can't put the PC in my room. When I streamed on my room through on Streamtober, if you guys didn't know, Streamtober was a week-long event that we did like a month back, and it was really fun. We just streamed back to back every single day, playing mainly horror games and stuff, and it was really fun. And I put the PC in my room. I don't usually do that. I keep it in the living room because that's where the Wi-Fi is. But I bought like a little adapter thingy just for Streamtober. It was like a rented one that you gotta pay for per month. So I just got it for Streamtober so I can do it on my room. It's just a little bit more of a better vibe, I guess. But now I'm streaming off the laptop, and we're in the room, back in the room, and the quality should be so much better than all the other streams. Like just looking at it right now, it's just way better. It's night and day. Come on, man, it's so much better. And this is okay. This is not pre-recorded, by the way. I'm just not gonna be looking at chat all the time. I don't wanna make it look like a stream because I wanna upload this to YouTube and then probably on like Spotify or something later down the line. So I will read chat because this is gonna be an interactive podcast. I'm gonna explain everything to you in a bit. I'm gonna explain how this is gonna work, break it down for you guys, and tell you exactly how everything's gonna go down in a bit. So just give me a second. I just want to ramble a little bit, but this is not pre-recorded. If it was pre-recorded, I wouldn't be reading your chat right now, but I just want to have it so that I don't want to just because usually when I'm streaming and I'm talking about a certain topic, I look at chat and then kind of completely deviate from that topic, and it kind of just ruins the topic, the initial topic that we started on. So I don't want to look at chat all the time, but I'm gonna be glancing there every now and then and kind of piggybacking off of the comments. I might not mention the comment. I might not like directly address the comment, but I will, like, in some way I will talk about it in some way because I don't want to just have this like a regular stream, and then there's no point of having a podcast. But this is going to be an interactive podcast, and it's going to be really interactive, way more than just me reading your chat. You guys are going to be able to be a part of this. That is going to be another concept that I'm working on that I don't think has never been done before on a podcast, or on maybe has been done on a stream. I don't think so, but it's a completely unique idea that I thought of that I'm gonna debut to you guys soon, and it's gonna be really fun. So unfortunately, for this certain part of this certain unique aspect of the podcast, of the Waffle Club podcast, which makes it super interactive with the viewers, is kind of gonna make it a little bit hard for people that are only listening to the audio, because you might need some visuals for it. But I'm gonna try my best to make sure that you can, just listen to it and just get all the needed information out of it. You don't need the visuals all the time. You're gonna be able to get all the information from just from the audio. And yes, I am gonna be in the room. I want to have like a cozy little vibe. So I set up the lamps, turned off all the lights, really dark in here. Maybe I should make it a little bit darker because I think this is too bright. But yeah, I just want to have like a cozy little vibe, just talking and relaxing, all of that. And by the way, the stream like stuff that we usually have going on, like the elements and like the follow animations and stuff are gonna be turned off for this because I don't want to have it become like just have it be in the way of the podcast when I'm uploading it to YouTube. That's gonna be a big portion of this. I'm not gonna be editing any of it. Just gonna be completely uploading the whole thing to YouTube. And if there are like funny moments or if there are moments, segments in the podcast that I want to edit, I will edit that separately. But every single episode of the podcast will be uploaded to YouTube in its entirety. So the full podcast, I don't know. I'm hoping to go like 30 to 40 minutes today, but later down the line, let's go like an hour, maybe like more than that. But yeah, that's kind of how this is gonna work. Every single episode in its entirety is gonna be on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, and I'm gonna tell you guys how you guys can be very interactive. By the way, I did make a special new Discord badge. So if you're chatting in the chat right now, and I see you guys, a lot of you guys are here. Shout out to Red Stars and Clear Sky and Akahoshi for being some of the OGs in here. I'm gonna give you guys a special new Discord badge. So make sure you guys join the Discord as well, and all those guys watching on YouTube as well, and also GGN welcome to the chat as well. I'll give you a badge as well. So yeah, and now let me get into like the most unique part of the podcast. This is where it kind of becomes like more visual. Not I'm not gonna have it completely visual, but somewhat visual. But so one of the unique aspects that I thought about when making the podcast is how like like before I started it, I wanted to think about how I can make this stand out, how I can make this different from the thousand other podcasts started by thousand other influencers or whatever. I want to make this a little different. And my roots are obviously on Twitch. I started content creation on Twitch, even though it's technically started on YouTube and technically kind of on Instagram. But that's a different story for another day. We can talk about that later. But since Twitch is where I kind of like started like actually grinding on this, I'm gonna have it be very interactive with the viewers, and I'm gonna have every single podcast. Well, not every single one, but majority of them live right here. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube and you want to watch these live, hop on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nueteron. That's twitch.tv/Nueteron. You know what I'm saying? And if you're on Twitch and you want to watch this later on, you can just go to YouTube, Neutron Live, and watch it, scrub through it, all of that, clip it. And I want to encourage you guys to clip the podcast. If you see some cool moments, if you see some topics that are interesting, clip it. And you can post it yourself to your TikTok account as well if you want. But tag me and stuff. But clip it and send it to me so I can post some short form content. I mean, this is a cool strategy that a lot of people are using now, where they just get their viewers to clip and upload it themselves. So it just saves a lot of work for the creator because you're just getting free publicity. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that because now you might not want to do it, but just do it. You know what I'm saying, just help a guy out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get into the presentation aspect. So this is kind of what I wanted to do with the podcast that will make it kind of different. And I also got a notebook full of topics that I'm gonna be going over. So we're gonna have a lot of guests on the podcast. If you notice on the YouTube channel, I uploaded 2 videos. One with Comet Owen and one with Eli Born Baby. Both were interviews. So we're gonna continue doing that. So technically, this is not my first podcast. I kind of did it before, but that was not really exactly a podcast. It was just an interview. I never labeled it as a podcast, but now I'm labeling it as a podcast, and everything is just gonna be under one umbrella because a lot of people ask me like for no reason, like why do you keep like starting new stuff? And I made a second channel for Neutron Live. They kept asking me like, yo, why'd you make a second channel? Just upload the videos on the main channel. But I wanted to have a clear distinction. And same with this. This is not like completely different content. I'm not just turning around and just doing something completely different. This is something I've been doing on Twitch, but now it's just under a new name and it's just under the label of a podcast. And I'm also, fleshing it out and also just making the quality a little bit better. But yeah, that's just kind of the concept behind it. And I see a lot of you guys in the chat right now. Thank you for watching. All you guys that are OGs, I'm gonna give you the badge. I already gave you a shout out, but yeah. Now we're gonna get into the presentation aspect of it. So the one unique thing I wanted to do was have a little presentation, a slideshow, a PowerPoint, something like that, where I'm gonna be able to share ideas to you guys in a kind of funny way, but also in like a cool little way. And I think it's really fun. And the way that I want it to be interactive is that every week that we do this podcast, by the way, we're doing this every week, once every week, sometimes more. Every week I'm doing this podcast, I'm gonna pick one of you from Discord chat or from the chat to prepare a presentation. Anybody can do it, and we're gonna obviously gonna have some mods check over your presentation before you do it, just in case. I gotta save my ass. Okay, I can't just let y'all just do whatever you want. It is gonna be checked and stuff before you present it. But yeah, um, I want you guys to do some presentations every now and then. I think it'll be fun to have some interactivity like that. So we're gonna have every week we're gonna have one of you guys, sometimes more, do a little presentation on any subject, and sometimes I'll be theming an episode around a certain subject, and I'll ask you guys to make some presentations on that subject. And if you guys want to see what the presentations are gonna be about, or like what it kind of looks like, I guess I'll lead the way and start up the first one. So here we go. This is the very first presentation of the Waffle Club podcast. This is kind of how it's gonna start running. Not the entire podcast is gonna be like this, but this is gonna be one segment of it. So today, obviously, since this is the first day, we're gonna have to do a little bit of an introduction. So welcome to the Waffle Club podcast with Nueteron. That's me. I'm not the only host, by the way. Hopefully, you guys can see the screen properly and you guys can hear my voice properly as well. So you might be asking, what is this? What is this thing? What is this Twitch podcast live thing? What is a podcast? Well, I mean, I kind of just answered it already. This is a podcast. All right. Duh. Oh wait, I didn't play the animation properly. Duh. So what did I make this for? It's for podcast, for ranting and rambling, because I love talking a lot and I love ranting about random useless subjects and topics, and I just like to go on and on about random stuff. Like, if you start me on cars or on some like pop culture, like movie, TV show, anime or whatever, I'm gonna keep going until I can. So we're gonna be ranting a lot, we're gonna be rambling a lot, and we're gonna have a lot of discussions. We're gonna have a lot of big brain activity, thought process, intellectual, high level discussions, and we're gonna have some topics. And we're gonna be doing a lot of yapping and waffling. You know what I'm saying? So you might be asking why I started this. I kind of mentioned this already. I kind of touched on this topic a little bit, but I kind of want to just flesh out a certain aspect of the streams that I had beforehand and just make it a little bit more fun. So I kind of just started this for fun, and I got bored. Just a little cute cat pic for you guys. Since I am explaining everything that is on the slides, the viewers that are just listening to the audio, you guys can kind of understand the gist of everything. So where can you find the podcast? You can find it live right here on Twitch. Make sure you guys smash that follow button and hit subscribe if you can. If you got Prime, it's free. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grind on this, trying to get some followers on this and stuff, trying to get that partner thing. Maybe I don't really care about that, to be honest. But you're also gonna have the podcast being uploaded directly to the Nueteron Live YouTube channel, and make sure you guys subscribe to that as well. I think on the screenshot it says 149, but I think we're at like 150 something. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. When you see the videos, the podcast videos, make sure you guys give it a like, share it with your friends, family, your grandma, send it to them. It was Thanksgiving yesterday. Should have played the podcast episode on Thanksgiving. Not here though. I'm in Canada, so we don't really have the same Thanksgiving day. We had Thanksgiving like a month earlier in October. But I just feel like US Thanksgiving is so much better. That's a topic for another day. That's another podcast episode that's coming near the end of Christmas, or near Christmas, not the end of Christmas, end of December, where we're going to be talking a lot about why December, November, like this season, the winter season, is the best in the year. Controversial topic, but you're going to find out why soon. And let's get into the next slide. So when is this podcast going to happen? Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know this is kind of irrelevant, because as soon as I started, I already kind of broke a bunch of promises. I said I was going to do it day before yesterday. I planned to do it day before yesterday. I didn't get to do it, not yesterday either, but we're here today. So the when is kind of irrelevant because you know me, I'm not very punctual. I'm not really good at keeping time and stuff like that. And so the podcast is apparently just gonna be whenever, I guess. But I'll try my best as possible to be as consistent as I can. We're gonna have at least one every week. So, I promise. Uh I'll try my best, Promise. All right, next slide. Who? Now this is a very important question. I want you guys to answer in the chat. Who is gonna be hosting this podcast? Are we stuck or something? Oh, what's happening? All right. I want you guys to answer this. Now we're gonna have a little bit of interactivity in the podcast a little bit. So I'm gonna ask you guys questions every now and then, and you guys can answer in the chat, and I'll just piggyback off of that. So take a guess. It's not just one person hosting this podcast. Are we good? Are we good? I can't see chat apparently. So there's gonna be a little hiccup in the video in the podcast, but it doesn't look like I can read the chat. I don't know why. Okay, my bad chat, my bad guys, my bad. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Are we? Okay, never mind. It's just my browser is messed up. Anyways, yeah, never mind guys. That was false alarm. I don't know why Mac is just acting a little funky. But yo, guess who is guess Waffleology, podcastology. You just started a school podcast. I do want to have. Okay, so I was brainstorming a little bit to think of a name. It took a while. I should probably talk about this later down the stream. But some of the stuff I was thinking of when I was brainstorming was about school and like and presentations, because I really love presentations and I was really good at waffling. I never prepared for any single presentation during school. I just did a couple of different slides before I go to class on the day of the due date on the presentation, and then I just waffle the entire presentation. And somehow I do pretty good because I don't know, I can just go off of whatever. So I just see the slide, I see a couple little jot notes, I can just talk about that for a little bit. So I was pretty good at waffling, but I was a nervous little boy. I was pretty introverted, so I did have a lot of filler words and stuff as you do. But yeah, let's get into the who. So the podcast is hosted by obviously Nueteron, that's me, and Jimmy Gilbert. You haven't seen him in a year. This guy has been pretty much missing for an entire year. He's coming back. He's coming back for sure soon. You're gonna see him a lot during December. Not a lot, but you'll see him again during December. Jimmy Gilbert, if you guys didn't know, I'll introduce him in a bit, but Jimmy Gilbert is the OG. If you guys know Jimmy Gilbert, put a W in the chat. So let me just go over who I am. Let me give you a little introduction. So I'm Nueteron. I'm the CEO of New Corp. When I wrote this, I thought it would be funny, but now that I'm reading it out loud in front of you guys, this is kind of cringe. But I got like 24 years of experience in being a baller, and you got some little pictures. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Okay, Jimmy Gilbert. Yeah, that's the man we're waiting for. Professional reporter. He works for New News. He's the top of the line interviewer, the best class in the world. 37 years of experience. He's been doing this for a while. He's been at the game for a long time. He's been on a little bit of a hiatus on this channel. I hired him recently, like last year. He's amazing to work with. One of my favorite employees. But yeah, he's gonna be back. He's gonna be hosting all the interviews on the Waffle Club podcast. So you guys are gonna get to see him a lot more. He's only been on this channel 3 times. Hard to believe, yes, I know. But he's only been on the channel 3 times. He's been on the 2023 New Year's video, and he's been in the 2 interviews that we did. So he's kind of a he's kind of a tough guy to get a hold of. He kind of goes MIA a lot, but he is the best of the best of the best reporter, interviewer, all that. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy Gilbert, the man, the legend, is coming back. Is gonna be a permanent host on the Waffle Club podcast, and we might have a lot of guest stars every now and then. We'll have a lot of guests like music people, like rappers, singers, producers. We're gonna have like maybe like if this blows up, then maybe like TV stars or like movie people and all that, and then other YouTubers maybe. And I feel like that's a little bit harder to get a hold of than like rappers and stuff because there's bare underground artists that would want to do a podcast right now. So that's a little bit easier than getting some movie star or something like that. Uh, and I feel like you can make a lot of content with other with rappers and stuff if you interview them. If you guys want to check that out, we did do 2 interviews last year. You guys can go watch it on YouTube. The first one and two kind of I called it point one and point two episodes of the Waffle Club podcast because they're kind of like prequels. So you guys can go check that out. I'm gonna be running it a lot differently after this. I've told Jimmy Gilbert to run the interviews a lot differently as well. So yeah, go check that out as well. Next slide. Here's what to expect in the podcast. You know, we can expect some crazy interviews. Like I mentioned, we're gonna be interviewing a ton of people. I already mentioned the types of people we're interviewing, but tons of guests, lots of guests. We're gonna have a bunch of my friends over, talk about very deep conversations, very deep, extreme discussions. Not regular discussions, extreme discussions. You guys are never gonna see this kind of content, this kind of discussions and conversations anywhere else on Twitch or any other platform. Um, so you just expect everything and anything because you never know what's gonna happen next. You never even know if this podcast is gonna have an episode 2. You won't know. I won't say. I can't say. You're not gonna know if episode 2 is gonna come out like 3 years from now. You don't know. But that's the beauty of the Waffle Club podcast because it is a surprise. It is special. It's crazy. It's extreme. It's deep. It's every other adjective and synonym that I could think of off the top of my head, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But you guys can go comment down some synonyms and stuff. But yeah, next slide. Let's move on. Types of topics. You guys are probably wondering, what are the types of topics that we're going to be talking about? First off, I love cars. So we're definitely talking about cars. We're going to talk about a ton of car stuff, like the new cars that come out. We're going to be talking about like, I don't know if I wrote this down, but I don't care. I just write jot notes. So I don't have none of this is scripted, by the way. Everything is off the top of my head. So I love cars. We're going to be talking about new cars. We're going to be talking about old cars. We're going to be talking about tons of stuff like that. But I don't want to bore you guys if you're not into cars. So I'm going to have it pretty surface level. We're going to be talking about tech. Yes, sir. Everybody loves tech. Talking about the best of the best PC parts, the Oculus VR headset, AR glasses. I got a couple cool tech that I want to make a video on. I haven't told anybody this, but this is an exclusive that I'm only going to give to people watching this live right now. But I got my hands on 2 pairs of the Google glasses, the original Google glasses, the very first ones. These are really rare. And I believe they go for like $1,000 each. And the way I got them is very interesting. I'm making a video on them, but just know we have a lot of topics to talk about concerning tech. So I put a little cute picture of a PC right there, little gaming PC right there, Barbie PC. I kind of want to get that with a little bit of a grail item. But yeah, PCs, tech, other kinds of tech as well, like robots, AI, lots of stuff. I have an entire podcast that I can talk about AI, and I got videos coming out about AI, tons of stuff about AI that we can talk about. And I got a friend that's like really into AI that wants to hop on the podcast with me. So stay tuned for that. Tons of tech, anything to do with tech, we're going to be talking about it. But again, I don't want to bore you guys with all this niche stuff. I want to keep it general and I want to keep it interesting for everybody, all suitable ages. I want to have this podcast be accessible to everybody. So if you're like 1 year old to like 99 years old, you can still enjoy it. And if you're plus 99, that's okay too. You can still enjoy it. If you're a woman, a man, or anything other than that, you also can enjoy, I guess. You can enjoy if you're, black, white, Mexican, purple, yellow, blue, whatever color you are or whatever. You can enjoy. If you're a human, if you're not, you can still enjoy the podcast. So I'm gonna have it surface level, interesting, funny, all of that. It doesn't matter if you speak English, because the visuals itself will be funny enough. That's probably a stretch. That's probably not true, but I'm gonna include that in the thing anyway, because that's what came to my mind. Because I was talking about different characteristics, and yeah, I did not buy those glasses off of Temu. I have the original Google glasses. One of them is working. The other one is not. It turns on, but it doesn't really work. They don't support it anymore, so you can't really use it like it was intended. But some of the features that still work, but you just can't connect your phone to it. But yeah, I will be talking about the Google Glasses. Stay tuned for that. You guys are gonna love the Google Glasses. Those are rare. That's it's a really sick tech item. Next up, we're gonna be talking about media. Media is, kind of what's ruling the world right now. Everything is about the media. You're being influenced by the media. Yeah, all of this different types of media. So, what kind of media are we gonna be talking about? We're gonna talk about TV shows. Breaking Bad, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Um, so we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about other TV shows, new TV shows, old TV shows, classics. Talking about my favorite ones, whatever. Everything to do with TV shows. We might talk about it. Movies. Everybody loves movies. Animated movies, action movies, adventure movies, superhero movies. But we're not gonna be talking about, some inappropriate movies. That stuff is not gonna be on the podcast. Don't expect that. But clean, good movies, we're gonna be talking about it. Rated R is okay, but anything above that, I don't think we're gonna be talking about that. But I don't know why I said that. I don't think I needed to. It's just, I'm guessing you just assume that you're not gonna be talking about that kind of movies when I'm talking about movies. But whatever. Anime. Mm, I don't really like anime anymore, but we're gonna be talking about it every now and then. I might get back into anime. I don't know. I don't know. JoJo's is my favorite anime. That's the only anime that I think is still valid. Everything else is kind of cringe. JoJo's is some of the JoJo's fans are a bit cringe, but we'll let them slide because they got some. I think JoJo's has one of the best art styles of all time. But that's a topic for another time. Comics, yes, Superman, Batman, all these kind of superhero stuff. DC, Marvel, whatever. We're gonna be talking about that as well. Comics. If you guys love comics, might as well drop a follow. You guys we can talk about it later. Pop culture. This kind of wraps. Oh no, wrong slide. My bad. My bad. I did not have an image for pop culture. Everything on the screen right now is basically pop culture. So that's kind of what media is all of basically pop culture. I don't know why I included that as a separate topic, but I should have just had that as a main topic, but whatever. Oh, oops. Gaming, yes. I started Twitch with gaming, so we're gonna be talking about gaming, the best of the best games, consoles, the Xbox games, PlayStation games, Nintendo games. Nintendo games are a little underrated, I think, but they can be fun too. Skylanders, another game that's really good. That's a dying concept where you have the little toys that connect to the games. Dying concept, but it was a great concept. They should bring that back. It's all digital now, which kind of sucks. But Amiibo, Skylanders, Lego Dimensions, all of that stuff was really cool to me back when I was a kid. It still is really cool to me. So I don't know. That's really off topic, but that's kind of what the podcast is about. It's about ranting. But yeah, gaming. Yes, everybody loves gaming. We're gonna talk about Fortnite, Minecraft, all of that shit. Everything about gaming, all of that. Next up, music. Everybody loves music. I love music. I tried making music. I don't know if I should make music because most of the stuff I did make was just hot garbage. But some of them were good. I made some good beats. Okay, I make some good beats. I may not be able to rap or something or sing, but I can kind of produce a little bit. Not great, but I try my best. Here's one of my favorite artists, Kanye West. I don't think any more needs to be said. Music is great. Lots to talk about music. There's so much, so many genres, a lot of stuff to talk about. And a lot more like politics maybe. That's why I include this picture. It's like a double entendre. Get it? Because like double entendre is like a music term, and it's one picture with like two meanings, which like basically just means double entendre. But yeah, music. Kanye West. Yeah. Next slide. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, join the Discord. Yes. Join up the Discord, the new verse Discord. Nueteron has invited you to join. I want you to join the Discord. Click the link somewhere, maybe in the chat. Mods, put the link in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be down in the description. If you're watching this on Spotify, I'm probably not going to be uploading to Spotify anytime soon, but down the line when I do, if you're listening to this on Spotify, I don't know where I can put links, but I'll put links wherever I can. If you can't put links, then uh search up my Twitch or whatever, find the link. You scavenger hunt, treasure hunt find the Discord challenge. Go find the Discord. Newverse Discord is where I have the Discord, and it's a cool Discord. It's not really cool right now because it's kind of dead, but that's why I want you guys to join so you guys can make it lively again. We got lots of topics to talk about. I got a separate subcategory for every single one of these topics. Pretty much every single one of these topics, I got a subcategory on the Discord, so you guys can talk about every single topic here in the Discord as well. And I might talk about that topic that you bring up on the next podcast or whatever. And the only way to interact with the podcast and do presentations is through the Discord. That's the only way. So make sure you guys are joining the Discord. All right. If you guys are watching this right now, drop something in the chat, and I'll give you guys a free Discord badge flare thingy. It'll look cool. It will be right next to your name. It will say something like the Waffle Club OG. I'm gonna think of a better name because right now that name's kind of cringe, but I'm gonna think of a better name, and you guys can have a little cool badge on your thing, and it'll look really cool. You can flex on all the people that watch later on. When I eventually blow up, maybe 15 years down the line, you can flex on them on the Discord. You'd be like, oh, you guys don't have this badge, and you guys have the Waffle Club OG badge, and it's gonna be in gold. It's gonna be shiny and gold. All right. So make sure you guys join the Discord right now, and if you're watching this, put it in the chat. Put hi or whatever W in the chat, and I can give you guys the badge. Mods, if you're watching this, anybody that's in the chat, go give them go give them a badge. So yeah, mods, go do that. You guys can get a free badge. It's gonna be cool. And also all the day ones get a badge as well. So that's cool. So next slide. Thanks for watching. Yes, like and subscribe. This is the end of the presentation, and we're gonna continue back into the regular podcast. So I hope you guys liked that presentation. I worked really hard on it. It's been lots and lots of time. It took meticulous work to get all those animations accurate and very beautiful. But yeah, that is like a little introduction of the podcast. Now to just go over just some highlights, I guess, since I don't know, maybe you guys weren't paying attention or something. You guys should pay attention. Or you guys are just joining, or you guys skip to this part. Whatever. I'll give you guys a little recap, a little run through of it one more time. So this is a podcast. Obviously, I'm using this to rant, have discussions, and I made this because I was bored and just for fun. You can find this live here on Twitch, or you can find it on YouTube at Nueteron Live. You can watch this pretty much whenever. I'll be trying to post this like once every week. Have a live episode. Sometimes it might not be live, but I'll try to make it live, and I'll try to be consistent. I promise to try my best. It's hosted by me, Neutron, and Jimmy Gilbert, the interview specialist, the OG, the big boss. I don't want to introduce these two again. I've already done that. You guys can go watch it back or whatever. You can expect crazy interviews, deep conversations, extreme discussions. Everything and anything will be on this podcast. We'll be talking about various different types of topics: cars, tech, media, which includes TV, movie, anime, comics, pop culture, etc., etc., gaming, music, politics, maybe, I don't know. I'll try to give a fun little spin of it, and much more. Yes, join the Discord, and that is a recap of the entire presentation. So I did come up with a little bit more. I did have a lot of presentations that I also made later on, and you guys can kind of see that in the next coming episodes of the podcast. We're now 40 minutes in. I'm actually surprised I went this long, even though I was talking really fast. I kind of ran through that presentation. I could have done it a lot slower. Let me have some water. I'm really dry right now because I've been talking for a long time. So that's kind of how the podcast is gonna kind of run. So I kind of want to chill out a little bit now because I was talking way too much, way too fast. So in terms of guests, I did have a lot of interviews that I had lined up last year, but a lot of people, like I think in one of the groups that I was about to interview, I was interviewing a group, right? I don't know. I was gonna do an interview right when they finished their album, like not their album, their mixtape, their label. Not, it wasn't a label. It was a group. What are they called again? A collective. Yes, it was a collective, music collective, and they were working on an EP or like a mixtape, with everybody in the collective, and they wanted me to do an interview right when it was done. I don't think that was ever finished. So they kept telling me, "Yo, we're almost done. It's almost done. We can do it like next week or whatever." Excuse me, but it never. I don't think they never hit me up after like a month. Like I waited for them like a month, and then I just stopped looking for new people to interview. So now I gotta start over the hunt for new people to interview. But yeah, those people they kind of fell through. I don't know if the collective disbanded or whatever because I haven't heard from any of them since. I don't know. Hopefully, they're all still doing good, but maybe we can interview them as individuals. I don't know, but that was something I had prepared for last year, but that kind of fell through. That's why you haven't seen any interviews in the past year. I kind of also just kind of fell through on you guys as well. I apologize for that. I did kind of just stop streaming, and just stop making content altogether over the last year. Kind of just went ghost. Probably I try not to do that again. I did promise that if I ever, if I ever like not post anything for over a month without telling you guys, I will do something. I'll do a punishment like eating spicy noodles or whatever. And since I did not post, or I did post, but I did not stream for like an entire 2 weeks without any notice, or more than that, I will do like a challenge for you guys next regular stream, not a podcast, but a regular stream. We'll be eating some spicy noodles or whatever. I think that'll be a good punishment or whatever. We'll make it more extreme if I keep disappearing on you guys, if I keep ghosting you guys. So yeah, um, I'll try my best to be consistent with the podcast as well as Twitch streaming as well. Um, I'm trying. I want to read. I want to find a way to like read the chat without making it look like I'm reading the chat. Like kind of just go off of what you guys are saying, but without actually, like actually looking at the chat and reading it and just looking at making it look like a regular stream. So, should I interview Jimmy Gilbert? I don't know how that's gonna work because I'm not the interviewer. I don't do interviews. I'm not really good at interviews. Jimmy Gilbert's a specialist on that, so I don't know how I would interview Jimmy Gilbert. But if he wants to interview me, I'm down for that. You guys can go ask him, hit him up, ask him to interview me. I guess it'll be kind of weird because he kind of works for me. It'll be like interviewing your boss or whatever. But you guys can go hit him up. If you guys, yeah, basically, I'm building. Okay, now I'm gonna. Actually, we'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. It's some lore stuff. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it's some lore stuff. But I did invite a bunch of my friends to hop on the podcast as well. So we're gonna have a couple different podcast episodes with my friends. We're gonna talk about some discussions and stuff. So some of the stuff I got planned for future podcasts, if you guys are interested, are let me read off of my brainstorming notebook right here. Some podcast ideas that I had is actually, you know what? I don't wanna spoil some of them, but we're gonna be like ranking movies. We're gonna be going over Spotify Wrapped. So that's gonna be really interactive. I'm gonna talk about that. It's almost Spotify Wrapped season. Almost there. I think it's coming out in like a week or two. If you remember last year, we did me and a friend of mine, we went over everybody's Spotify rap that you guys sent in on Discord. So we're gonna do that again this year. So I think I'm gonna open up the channel soon. So whenever you guys get your Spotify wrapped, make sure you guys go put it in there. If you guys want me to review it, I'll review mine as well. We're gonna make that part of the podcast instead of the regular stream. I think that'll be fun. So if you guys listen to this, or if you use Apple Music, you can do your Apple Music, I don't know, rewind or whatever. I don't know what it's really called. I've only used Apple Music for like a couple months, and it was not during December, so I don't know if they have like I know they have a recap thing, but I don't know what it's called. But whatever, Apple Music recap, rewind, wrapped, or whatever you got, if you use Apple Music, which I doubt many of you guys do, um, put that in the Discord as well. So we're gonna go over all of them. We're gonna review them. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna review mine. We're gonna review my friends. We're gonna talk about every single thing, every genre, every artist that was on there. And yeah, it will be a fun stream. We did it last year. Um, Last year was really fun. I think we went to like nighttime. We spent a lot of time yapping back then as well. So it was always gonna be a thing. It was always gonna be a thing to do the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Another thing that we might talk about is like for cars. I want to have like another presentation with the top 10, top not top 10, but the dream car garage. The 10. Let me rephrase that. I want to do a presentation with the dream 10 car garage, and I'm gonna do a little presentation, tell you what mine is, like my favorite, like my dream car, truck, race car, whatever. And I want you guys to make a presentation on your dream 10 car garage as well. So, you know, you guys make sure you guys, you can start working on it already. I haven't started working on it yet because I don't know when I'm gonna do this, but if you guys want to just have it on the back burner, I don't know if I use that term right, but if you want to have it in the background, chilling, if you want to be prepared, make sure you guys, you guys can go start working on that. It could be make it funny, make it cool, make it serious, whatever. Up to you guys. I want to make it interactive and fun. So go make a little presentation on Google Slides or whatever, and yeah, we'll do that. I think that will be really fun. So yeah, top dream 10 car garage. Make sure you guys go get on that. I think that will be a really fun episode of the podcast. Another cool idea I had. Well, okay, so something else that I used to do all the time at the end of the year, end of every single year, before I even started Twitch, before I started uploading properly on YouTube, when I was just doing Instagram blogging. I don't know if that's the right term, but I whenever somebody asks, I just tell them I run a blog, but I just ran an anime Instagram page. I know it's a little embarrassing, but I don't really care. That's the origin. Anime is not even that cringy. I was just making fun of it a little bit just for comedy. I don't even think anime is that cringy. It's cool, right? So it's kind of dead right now, but OG anime is a little cool. It's fun. So, back when I used to run an anime page, I used to do this thing at the end of the year where I rate every single anime I watched. It would be just like a picture, like a slideshow kind of post on Instagram, and I did that at the end of every year. And then as when I transitioned into like a general page, I did like three different posts: one for anime, one for TV shows, and one for movies. So this year I kind of don't feel like making a whole ass post on Photoshop or Illustrator. I don't know where I made it back or whatever. I don't want to go over all that. I think it would be much easier if I just talk about it on the podcast. Talking is a lot easier than creating an entire design, a little template, I used to make fresh templates and then make a complete new design and like all of that stuff for you get obviously, I was gonna say you guys can go check it out if you guys want to see what it look like. But I did archive all of my posts on Instagram, so you guys might not find it. But if you still want to follow my Instagram, it's at Nueteron, same username. But yeah, we're gonna. Sorry, I rambled a little bit, but I'm gonna say that a lot. But that's the whole thing, It's the podcast is for rambling and ranting. But yeah, we're gonna have a stream at the end of the year. Maybe not the end of the year, but like the first week of January, we're gonna have a stream where we're gonna have a podcast. Actually, I should probably stop saying stream all the time since now it's a podcast. I don't know. Okay, I watch a lot of podcasts, and most of the time they speak a lot slower, more calming, more they're one second. Yeah, they're a lot more like cozy and I guess a lot more relaxing. Probably shouldn't be so intense. Probably shouldn't be yelling, I probably shouldn't be talking this fast. But I'm gonna take it down a notch. I'm gonna relax a little bit, Take a breather. Let me talk about this properly. In reality, I just wanna make sure the runtime is a little bit longer. I wanna try to go for an hour so it kind of looks better. Um that's kind of why I wanna, because if I talk too fast, I'm gonna run out of the topics to talk about. Then I'm gonna have to end the stream. By the way the podcast is gonna work in terms of like how long it's gonna be is basically it's just as long as I can talk. From start to finish. If I can keep talking, I'm gonna keep talking. And as soon as I run out of topics and my mind becomes empty, the podcast ends. And unless I have to go somewhere, unless it's too late, I think maximum I can go for, like I can talk for, without like having without just going crazy. It's probably like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. If I have guests, then 2 hours is gonna be pretty easy. we can push like 4 hours if I have guests on the podcast. If we got like one other person, 4 hours easily. If we got like a whole group, like my entire friend group, we can go like 10 hours maybe. I don't know. That's a little bit of a stretch, but you know, probably gonna end it as whenever I run out of topics. So I don't wanna run out of topics and just ramble on about stuff that's completely like useless and just dumb topics that don't even matter. That is not even interesting. As soon as I run out of all the good topics, I'm gonna just end the podcast there, call it a day. So yeah, um, and I'm getting a little parched. I should get some. You know what I should do? I should get some Waffle Club podcast cups or something like that. So if I'm drinking a lot of water, I can plug it, and it could be like merch or whatever. Imagine if I start selling waffles. That would be insane. One day, maybe we should have an entire. Oh, dude, imagine this. We drop an entire line of waffles. All right, an entire. We're gonna get an entire. We're gonna buy like a manufacturer. We're gonna buy from a manufacturer that makes waffles or Costco, and we're gonna take that exact same recipe, change nothing about it. All right, we're gonna put our name on it, and then we're gonna sell it for three times the price, and we're gonna beg our not beg, but we're gonna guilt trip our Twitch audience into buying it. And if they can't afford it, we're gonna call them brokies. That was a Pokemon reference. If you guys didn't catch on, uh, I don't know. I think that was pretty obvious, but I think that's a cool topic we can talk about. I don't know if I want to talk about today, but maybe later. Uh, it is kind of an old topic now. I kind of completely deviated from the topic I was talking about before, but yeah. What was I talking about before again? Um, every movie and TV shows I watched this year. So yeah, at the beginning of the next year, I'm gonna do a series where not a series, but I'm gonna have the podcast where the entire time I'm gonna be talking about my all the movies I watched in the year, all the TV shows I watched in the year, and all the anime I watched this year, which is not many this year, and all the albums I listened to. And I'm gonna rate and rank all of them. And I want you guys to give me your top 10 list of movies you watched in 2023. I mean, I'm not gonna do it presentation style, so you don't have to either. You guys can just hop on the call and just tell me about it. But if you guys want to go make a presentation about it, cool. But only your top 10. I don't want to hear you yapping for like 30 minutes. This is not your podcast, all right? You're just coming on as a guest. I want to hear you yapping for 30 minutes, an hour about all the movies you watch. Only your top 10. Best 10. Keep it short, simple, because I want to have as many people on as possible. So, I can have a bunch of different people come on and talk about their top 10 movies and TV shows and anime or albums or anything that they watched that year. So if you guys want to prepare for it, you can go ahead. So you got two things to prepare for. That's kind of like homework. I'm like your teacher now. I'm your technically I'm both. I'm the student giving a presentation to my classmates. I'm also a teacher giving you guys homework and making you guys present as well. So yeah. Or teachers present too. So like I guess I'm the teacher. I'm just a teacher then. I'm just a teacher presenting. I'm teaching you guys. You guys are learning right now. You guys are my students. You guys are my pupils, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, go make a top 10 favorite movies you watched this year, favorite TV shows, whatever. Prepare for that. And we'll talk about the first week of January. That will be fun. I'm excited for that stream already. So we're at like 53 minutes in. Um, and I don't know. I'm kind of running out of topics. We're almost an hour in. This which is kind of crazy. I was not expecting to go that far. Especially talking that fast. I thought as soon as I started the presentation and end the presentation, I'm gonna run out of things to talk about. Genuinely thought that was what was gonna happen, but thankfully we didn't. We're almost an hour in. I thought this was gonna end like 30 minutes in for sure. But hey, I'm just really good at waffling, you know what I'm saying? So we're still going strong. We're like 15 minutes in, really going strong. I mean, technically, I am running out of topics because the only thing I'm talking about right now is about how long we're going off, which is kind of like a cheap topic to talk about. Anyways, that was just the introduction for today. If you guys got any questions, drop it in the chat and I'll answer them. So if you guys got any questions about Jimmy Gilbert, If you guys got any questions about the presentations and how that's gonna work, I can explain to you a little bit more in depth. If you guys have questions about how where you can find it, I already answered that, but I can plug it again. So ask a question about that, and I'll plug it again. Twitch.tv/Neutron and Neutron Live on YouTube. But yeah, go ask the questions, and yeah, so we're gonna if you guys got questions, make sure you guys drop it in the chat right now. I'm gonna make this as no other podcast is gonna have a little Q&A session at the end of every stream. We're gonna have a Q&A session at the end of every single stream. I forgot to mention that. We're gonna have a Q&A session at the end of every stream, just like this. I'm gonna ask you guys to drop questions in the chat and I'll read it and I'll answer it. So if you guys got any questions before we end the stream, drop it in the chat right now and we'll answer it and we'll talk about it. So when I got guests on, you guys can ask questions for the guests. Last year we did that too, and we also had the Instagram question thing where you can drop in anonymous questions. And yeah, so ask questions, ask away. I'm your teacher. This is the end of the lesson. End of the class, end of class is almost over. If you guys got any more questions, let me know. You know what they did? Some of the teachers always said it's really cringe. I hear this all the time, and they all act like they came up with it. I don't know why, but for some reason, teachers always like whenever they say a phrase or say something cool or whatever, they always act like they came up with it, even though I've heard that exact same phrase coming out of the a bunch of other teachers' mouths. It's not just them, and they all act like they came up with it. But one of the things that a lot of teachers say is, if there are no questions, that means either you understood everything or you understood nothing. So I'm gonna just pull a little teacher and say, if you guys got no questions, I'm gonna assume you guys either understood everything about today's stream and how it's gonna work, or you guys understood nothing. If it's a latter, not latter. If it's a latter, I don't know how to even say that, but if it's a latter, I'm gonna be sad because I was hoping you guys understood everything. But if it's the first one, that's good. That's good. Second one, if you guys got questions, put it in the chat. When is homework due? Red Star is asking. When is homework due? Homework is voluntary, so that's cool about my class. You don't gotta do the homework if you don't want to. It's completely voluntary. If you do, so that's another way to get the Waffle badge, OG badge. If you haven't been in the chat, if you get picked to do a presentation, automatically get the badge as well. So if you're watching this stream, or if you're joining the Waffle Club, like months from now, and you're not technically an OG, but you end up doing a presentation, you still get the badge. I just thought about that right now. I was not planning on doing that, but just right now, just thought about that. I guess that's gonna encourage more people to present. So if you guys want homework, if you guys do the homework, you get rewards. But if you don't, it's okay. There are no consequences. I'm not gonna beat your ass or anything. I don't got. No, I'm obviously you're watching through a screen, unless I pop at you with the through the camera or whatever. Can't do that. But if you guys got any questions, any other questions, let me know. But yeah, what are we supposed to make a presentation on? So most of the times you guys can just, if I don't have a, so on most of the days that we're gonna do the Waffle Club podcast, I'm gonna give you guys the topic beforehand. So if I have something planned, I'll give you guys the topic beforehand. If I have an interview coming up, I'll interview meaning like I'm interviewing somebody, not me, but Jimmy Gilbert. If Jimmy Gilbert is interviewing somebody, I'll tell you guys beforehand that there's an interview coming up, so you guys can prepare questions for that person. If I'm planning on doing a podcast around a specific topic, let's say around like anime or movies or manga or cars or whatever, I'll give you guys the topic, the main topic that we're gonna be talking about, a week early or like a couple weeks earlier, and you guys can find all of these announcements on the Discord. So if you guys are not joining the Discord, you will miss out. So make sure you guys join the Discord. But I will give you guys the topics beforehand, and you guys can work on it, have time to do it. And obviously, I might not, if right now we're really small, so we're probably gonna be able to do every single person that has prepared everything. But maybe if we blow up or something down the line, we might not be able to get through everybody. But we'll do the best as possible. I'll have the mods look over all the presentations that are done, and they'll pick the best ones. and we'll go from there. So that's down the line. But right now, I don't think we have to worry about that at all. We're gonna have like maybe one presentation from a person every week. That's like the best case scenario. The realistically, I think we're gonna have zero presentations every week other than mine. So fan presentation. If somehow we get other presentations, then that's great. That's good. At least one every podcast, maybe. So the podcast topics, you're gonna get them like a couple weeks earlier. You guys can make it, choose not to do it. Up to you guys. Do whatever you want with it. Just keep it family friendly. No swearing, no swear words. No like inappropriate pictures. Obviously, no inappropriate videos or none of that. None of that shit. That none of that is tolerated here. You're gonna get insta banned or booted right away. So don't do all that. It's cringe anyway. Like go touch grass or whatever if you're planning on doing that. Uh, but you keep it family friendly, and then you're good to go. Cause then that makes it easier for me because I don't gotta edit all that out. No swear words, but you just swore. Dude, come on now. I didn't swear. Um, I don't know why I just read chat. I instinctively just read chat. Like I'm Twitch streaming right now. I gotta put that in my brain. I'm not Twitch streaming. I'm recording a podcast. This is like a step above. I'm not just a Twitch streamer anymore. I'm a podcaster. That sounds cooler. Then it that sounds a lot cooler. It sounds professional too. Twitch streamer sounds like some guy that just plays video games in his mom's closet. But podcast sounds like established intellectual gentleman with lots of things to talk about, even though it doesn't really mean that at all, because majority of the podcasts that are active right now are all brain dead, like low brain cell incel podcasts with like no intellectual stuff. But not our podcast. The Waffle Club is going to be only intellectuals only. But yeah, if you guys got any other questions, let me know. I think we're pretty much done for the day. It's been fun. We might wrap it up. I'll give you guys like a couple more seconds to come up with a question. If you guys don't got any other question, we're gonna wrap it up. And yeah, it's been a wonderful time so far. I was not expecting to go this long, but it was really fun. Um, really great time just talking. And yeah, so I'm not gonna be answering obviously for the Q&A. I won't be answering every single question. There are going to be some stupid questions in the chat. I'm sure this is Twitch. There will be a million dumb questions. So I won't be answering every single question, but I'll answer intellectual, like smart questions. If it's like some stupid question or whatever, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to mention it. I won't even reference it. But the get was very big. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'm gonna end the stream. My bad, my bad. With that being said, I think I'm gonna end. No, this is more planned out. I gotta remember that. Even though it's not, I gotta make sure you guys think it is. I'm not gonna say I think it's time. With that being said, it's time to end the podcast here. We're watching the Waffle Club with Neutron. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this live, drop a follow, subscribe if you can. Doesn't matter. But if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely subscribe. 100%. Because this is free. You have to. Twitch, I'm gonna let it slide. You gotta pay for that. So I'm gonna let that slide. You don't gotta do all that. But YouTube, that stuff is free. Hit that button, bro. It literally takes no effort. Go hit that button. And also, you can save this playlist. This podcast is gonna be under the Waffle Club podcast playlist, which is like a special type of playlist on YouTube. Go save that playlist so you guys can see all of the videos and stuff, all that cool stuff. Also, make sure you guys hit that bell button so you guys get notifications when I'm posting not just Waffle Club episodes but other content as well. So, with that being said, it's time to end the very first episode of the Waffle Club podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked it. Hopefully it was fun. I had fun. Hopefully you guys had fun. You guys are interested in the podcast. You guys like the unique aspect I brought into this, a little cool mix I don't think anybody has done this before. I don't think it's ever been done. I checked, like I did some research to see if this has been done. I don't think so. Hopefully it hasn't, because if it has, then I'm not as cool as I think I am, which I probably am not that cool, but at least I can just let me think I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I am unique and I am special or whatever. But yeah, I did do very light research, but I don't think this has been done. At least not live streamed podcast with presentation from viewers. I don't think that combination has ever been done before. Maybe presentation from viewers has been done. I don't think, maybe, probably it's kind of like a simple topic, general kind of thing. That's probably been done, but I don't think that's been done live. Maybe that's been done. I don't know. Kind of rare, but I don't think it's been done live for a podcast. So I think we're pretty good here. We're pretty clear. We're pretty good. Hope you guys like the name. It took a while to come up with that. I think I should, you know what? I already wrapped up the podcast, so I'm not gonna talk about it today. Talk about that in the next podcast. I should have talked about it. I see it in my notes here. That I was supposed to talk about it. I didn't read my notes. Not scripted, by the way. These are jot notes. But saw it on my notes here. I was supposed to talk about it, but you know what? Stuff happens. We rambled, ranted, kind of part of the thing. Like I said before. But yeah, with that being said, the podcast is now over. Thank you guys for watching this. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I had to do like a very cool little. I had to do it tiny bit differently than how I usually do it on the regular. Okay, whatever.